Shocking UN meltdown. Carney humiliated plus CBC facts expose David Eby. In a dramatic and unexpected turn at the United Nations General Assembly, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney became the center of a diplomatic debacle that captured international attention. What was meant to be a routine presentation of Canada's foreign policy positions quickly escalated into tense exchanges with other global leaders. Simultaneously, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, CBC, has unveiled reports on British Columbia Premier David Eby's recent political maneuvers, exposing controversial actions that have prompted nationwide debate about transparency, accountability, and the integrity of provincial governance. The UN General Assembly, typically a venue for structured diplomacy and collaboration, became an unexpected stage for Carney's challenges. During key sessions on international security, economic policy, and climate cooperation, Carney faced pointed questioning from several world leaders. Reports indicate moments of visible frustration and tension during these exchanges, leaving both diplomats and journalists surprised. Analysts are debating whether this incident reflects an isolated diplomatic misstep or indicates broader concerns regarding Canada's readiness and approach to global affairs under Carney's leadership. Meanwhile, the CBC's investigation into Premier David Eby's political actions has highlighted a series of strategic decisions within British Columbia that have sparked controversy. According to reports, Eby's recent policy moves carry potential consequences for governance, budget priorities, and provincial stability. Observers have raised questions about the transparency of his decision-making process, how policy objectives are being prioritized, and whether the public's trust is at risk. These revelations add pressure to Eby's leadership, particularly as he navigates a politically charged landscape with upcoming legislative challenges. Following the UN incident, Carney's office has taken swift action to manage the diplomatic fallout and reassure international partners. Canadian officials are engaging in extensive discussions with allied nations to reaffirm Canada's positions on economic cooperation, humanitarian initiatives, and security commitments. Despite these efforts, critics argue that the very public nature of Carney's frustrations may have caused lasting reputational damage. The event could influence how Canada is perceived in future multilateral negotiations, requiring sustained diplomatic effort and careful messaging to restore credibility on the world stage. Premier Eby is likewise focusing on consolidating his political influence within British Columbia amid growing scrutiny. Sources suggest he is navigating complex internal party dynamics while addressing legislative priorities and public concerns. Simultaneously, he must respond to the CBC revelations and manage potential criticism from political opponents. The combination of these pressures creates a multifaceted political landscape requiring careful communication, decisive policymaking, and tactical maneuvering to maintain public support and ensure the successful implementation of his governance agenda. Public reactions to these twin developments in federal and provincial politics have been mixed. Some Canadians have expressed concern over Carney's handling of high-pressure diplomatic interactions, fearing negative implications for the country's international reputation. Others focus on Eby's provincial decisions, questioning the transparency, fairness, and accountability of his leadership. Yet another segment of the population advocates a cautious, wait-and-see approach, emphasizing the importance of analyzing outcomes, policy effectiveness, and long-term impacts before forming judgments. This division reflects the nuanced nature of public perception in contemporary politics. The UN meltdown and CBC revelations have sparked questions about Canada's standing in the global community. Analysts are closely examining the potential implications for trade relations, bilateral partnerships, and multilateral alliances. International observers are watching carefully, noting that any perceived instability or mismanagement can influence Canada's credibility, investment appeal, and leadership influence worldwide. These events could affect how Canada negotiates on global platforms, responds to crises, and asserts its strategic priorities in the months and years to come, highlighting the interconnectedness of domestic and international politics. Although Carney and Eby operate at different levels of government, their actions are interrelated in shaping Canada's political climate. Federal-provincial dynamics influence not only policy outcomes, but also public trust, national cohesion, and international perception. Observers are particularly attentive to how Carney's strategies at the federal level and Eby's leadership at the provincial level intersect or diverge. These interactions can either strengthen or undermine public confidence, diplomatic credibility, and political stability. Understanding this relationship is essential to predicting how Canada navigates complex domestic and global challenges in the near future. Media coverage has played a central role in shaping public perception of these events. Outlets such as the CBC have provided detailed reporting and analysis, contextualizing the actions of both Carney and Eby for a national audience. While media scrutiny helps inform citizens, critics have noted potential biases or selective framing that could influence interpretations of events. Consequently, careful media consumption and critical evaluation are essential. The press not only informs the public, but also amplifies political pressure on leaders, reinforcing the stakes of strategic decisions and the importance of clear, transparent communication. Looking forward, Canada faces a period of uncertainty as these developments continue to unfold. Carney's ability to manage diplomatic challenges and maintain international credibility is crucial, while Eby must balance provincial priorities with public expectations and media scrutiny. Political stakeholders, business leaders, and citizens are closely monitoring these leaders, anticipating how their responses to current challenges will shape upcoming elections, public policy, and the broader political landscape. The coming months may define both leaders' political legacies and Canada's reputation domestically and abroad. The recent events involving Carney and Eby highlight the complexities of political leadership in Canada. From international diplomacy to provincial governance, these situations show how leaders must balance competing priorities while maintaining public trust. The intense scrutiny on both figures underscores the need for strategic decision-making, effective communication, and accountability, as Canadians watch closely how officials respond to crises and high-pressure situations. These unfolding developments also reveal the high stakes of contemporary Canadian politics. Carney and Eby's actions reflect the delicate balance between governance, diplomacy, and public confidence. How they navigate these pressures will shape immediate political outcomes, influence Canada's international credibility, and impact provincial stability, with citizens, media, and global observers monitoring every decision. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for latest updates.